Hi, in this video I will tell you about the best video light, specifically the portable video light for a solo creator. I'm not talking about some serious professional setups where you will really need a very expensive and high output video lights, but something for a small video creator, a one-man video creator like myself. And I will tell you about all the lights right in front of you, starting from the very best one to the least functional and the worst one when it comes to the price and quality comparison. So, my name is Zhiyun. I am a video creator doing all on my own. These are all the lights purchased for my own money. None of them has been supplied from any of the manufacturers. I am making YouTube for like 4.5 years at the moment, and this light, the NITECORE SCL 10, is by far the best what I have been able to use and what I found after so many years on YouTube. After trying more of the expensive lights, this one is the real deal, and it has two features which are just a killer features which make them an outstanding light. So without further ado, let me show you the longest lasting video light, NITECORE SCL 10, with an output of 12 watts. It's very slim. The form factor is, I would say, as slim as the iPhone 12 Pro. In the bulky case, the light is smaller than the iPhone 12 Pro. It is very slim, compared, I would say, relatively lightweight. Body is made from aluminium. The maximum output is 12 watts, and it is a bicolor light. It has a built-in power bank with a rated capacity energy of 10,000 milliampere hours, and that's the reason why it's called NITECORE SCL 10. It has a really nice screen on the back, really bright, with very clear indications on the screen and with all the necessary information you can ever want to have from the light. It has amazingly simple controls with just a power button to turn on the off light and toggle through the menu, and two buttons for the brightness up and down and for changing the color temperature up and down. It has a USB-C in and USB-C out, and it also has a USB-C Type A output, meaning that this light can be used as a power bank. And you heard me right, this light can be used as a power bank, and this can be a huge benefit for someone who has a camera like Sony ZV-1, the one what I have with the micro USB, the older version, which has a terrible battery life. And I mean terrible, just terrible. That camera cannot record a 1080p video more than like for 30-40 minutes, and this light is just saving my setup. Right now I will show you what I mean. So if I grab my action camera, and I can show you that over here on top you can see that I have my Sony ZV-1 attached on the bar, and it is attached to in this side. You see the light bar, the NITECORE SCL 10, through the USB-C out, through the cable which I purchased separately, powers now my Sony ZV-1, and the light is on, and also on the screen I see all the information about how the power bank inside the light actually powers the Sony ZV-1, and I mean that is the power which is supplied to the camera, and that is awesome. And this light works on the built-in battery at the maximum brightness of 12 watts, it works 3 hours and 58 minutes, and I'm not joking. I have prepared a time-lapse video a day before, and just watched this video, and performance is just outstanding. I cannot tell you how good is this light actually. It outperformed every single other light in this competition, and let me tell you about some performance in particular. So the first light to die was Zhiyun Cinepeer 15 watt, and that is this light. The first one to die after 27.5 minutes. Then the next, by the way, this Zhiyun, it has a dual color and also the RGB capabilities. So I have two lights of this model of Zhiyun, Cinepeer 15. One of the models was turned on in RGB mode, and the other one was turned on in just like 4400 Kelvin mode, just a CCT mode. So the one was at RGB mode, red, died first after like 28 minutes or so. Okay, let me scroll through. You see, in the red color, after 27 minutes it died. The next one died, the same Zhiyun 15, after like 31 minutes. Next, Zhiyun Fiveray M20 watt, kind of the light which you may think, oh, it's more professional, it has so many accessories. This one, no, it's just very bad. When turned on at the maximum power, it only lasted like 32 minutes before it died. Right after that, oh, I would say even before that, at 31 minutes, the light, the 40 watt Zhiyun Fiveray M40, very expensive light, actually died after 31 minutes, and then after like 33 minutes Fiveray M20 died. Next, quite a bit after, so Joby Beamo Mini with a teeny tiny battery at the maximum brightness of 5 watt still lasted more than 1 hour, 1 hour 8 minutes. Yes, 1 hour 7 minutes, let's say. Then the Joby Beamo with a little bit more output and with same form factor died after 1 hour 15 minutes. Then the least expensive, the cheapest light, which is Ulanzi Vijim 5 watt, after 2 hours exactly started to flicker a little bit and reduced brightness at least half the way, and then it lasted another 20 minutes before the brightness was almost not noticeable, and then the NITECORE SCL 10 lasted 3 hours without dropping the brightness at all, and then I was not sure whether it was actually turned on at the maximum brightness, so I came to the light, checked it on the back whether it was full brightness, and indeed it was the full brightness turned on, and then it lasted 3 hours and 58 minutes before the light actually turned off. I mean, can you look, 3 hours and 48 minutes, 3 hours 48 minutes before the light died, and that is just unbelievable. So let me tell you more about this light. This is the #1 choice I can confidently recommend to any content creator, because the battery is so big, then this 1/4" thread is shifted a little bit, but it's not a big issue, because NITECORE in the box it gives you a cold shoe adapter, which looks like so, where you actually screw that to this slightly shifted 1/4" hole. It still keeps the light. It's small profile. Let's say this is the side comparison to Action first, DJI Osmo Action. You can attach then a light to the Action camera with the cold shoe mount. That is how it looks like. You can also power with included cable in the box, which is type A to type C. You can easily connect. If you, for example, want to shoot a longer video or a time lapse, you can connect a USB-A cable to the USB-C in Action camera, and now you can see that there is a red light indicating that now the NITECORE is powering the camera. It can also, of course, it can also work and at the same time power the camera. It can also power two devices at the same time and work, and that is just an amazing feature. And on the screen, which is really bright OLED screen, you can see every information, and the letters and the numbers and the figures are nice and bold and easily readable. I can see that the brightness is now 20%. It will take me 15 hours at the current setting when the light is in 20% and it powers the camera before the light dies, and I can see that color temperature is 2500 Kelvin, which is a nice warm light, and it powers the Osmo Action with a power of 6.5 watts. So to toggle through the menu, you just short press the button on the side. Now I can change with a minus or plus. I can change the color temperature, and you will see now that light becomes cooler. So the setting allows me to change from 6300 Kelvin down to 2500 Kelvin, and that is just awesome. And I cannot tell you how happy am I because of this light, because of the ability to power my old Sony ZV-1. It fits nicely. I installed this kind of quick release mount from Pulus on the cage of my Sony ZV-1, and the same I installed on the NITECORE SCL10. I basically just never used the included adapter, but I just installed. Maybe I can show you the way it looks like. So if I cannot show you that, but you have seen that. Okay, so if you want the best available light on the market for a solo content creator, definitely consider NITECORE SCL10. It will be the perfect solution for any occasion. Okay, the next one, if you are really short on a budget, this is also possible, then you may consider getting yourself Ulanzi Vijim 5 watt or similar light. It has a very simple operation, just a scroll wheel to turn on off. This is a fixed color temperature, only something like a daylight, 5000 Kelvin roughly. It has a cold shoe mount here, and it has a 1/4" hole, so you can kind of install it to any other place where there is a cold shoe mount, or you can also connect anything else to this light with a cold shoe, because it has 1, 2, 3 cold shoes on each of the other 3 sides. It charges with USB-C. There is a simple indication, and it will last you 2 hours confidently before the brightness drops, and it compares to the NITECORE SCL 10 in such a fashion. Look, it is definitely a little bit thinner, it is lighter because it's made only from plastic. It has no ability to charge other devices, and maximum brightness is like 5 watts versus 12 watts. And this is a great choice. I think they cost like from 12 to 15 bucks versus a NITECORE SCL 10, which will cost like $69 US. And this is still an outstanding value. Alright, the next favorite light of me is definitely the light from Joby, the series of Joby Beamo lights. Very cool lights. Let me show you and tell you more about these lights. This is a Joby Beamo Mini and Joby Beamo a bigger version. The difference is that this is a slightly brighter light. It has more battery capacity, that's why it's a little bit bigger, and it has an induction charging. You can charge it wirelessly, and also it is a little bit brighter, and it lasts a little bit longer on the full brightness setting. The control and operation is very simple. Only 2 buttons to power the light on and off. You simply hold one of the buttons. You will decrease the brightness like so, you will increase the brightness like so. It has a little bit strange indications in here. You have red and blue light blinking. It's not clear how is that actually showing you the status of the charge. It's unfortunately really not as clear, but the only thing that is important that it will at least last you 1 hour 10 minutes before the battery dies at the full brightness. And maybe you are not going to use the full brightness so much, because if you are a solo creator and you really need only a teeny tiny light over your, let's say, action camera, this is the perfect light, and you can just let's say survive, and you can just enjoy having this light. Even if I go now to the list setting, and now I can increase brightness, and because I'm filming on an action camera you cannot really see, but I can tell you that this is more than enough. This light has a super build quality. It is very rigid. It is waterproof up to depth of 30 meters, and this is not a joke. If you just look at my video where I was reviewing swimming goggles, you can see the light spill on my face, and that is there exactly because I was using a Joby Beamo, and this is waterproof up to 30 meters thanks to its rigid construction and outstanding waterproofness feature, and build quality is just really great build quality. And I was filming for like 15 minutes underwater in the swimming pool. It's no problem at all, and no issues with these lights whatsoever. So if you are looking for a light for your action camera where you can not only bring the action camera underwater but also the light, best solution overall is definitely the Joby Beamo. I did try a Godox, similar form factor from Godox, similar price, but it does not worth the money. The Godox is not as straightforward when it comes to controls, not as bright. Not as bright is really what disappointed me in Godox. And if you have one of Joby and one of Godox, then you will mess up on the operation wise, how to control this one and how to control Godox. So if you want to get a good quality, simple to operate light, get yourself a Joby, and it can also be controlled via the smartphone from the Joby application, and it is just an outstanding teeny tiny light, and that is how it compares to the one from Ulanzi and the one from NITECORE. So this is Joby Beamo Mini, Beamo, and this is a NITECORE SCL 10, and this is the Osmo Action camera, and this is iPhone, and this is iPhone 12 Pro. Just a moment. Alright, and this is iPhone 12 Pro. Outstanding lights, definitely worth the money. Sometimes you can get them very reasonable priced on Amazon. I will definitely link links in the description below. And the Joby Beamo, unlike the Joby Beamo Mini, unlike the Joby Beamo, does not have a wireless charging, but it has a magnetic back, so you can attach that to steel surfaces and have it attached like to the freezer or whatever. Alright, now I will tell you about, unfortunately, on my opinion, overhyped lights, which definitely does not worth the price tag and do not give you any kind of versatility and practicality. Unfortunately, I had really big expectations on these lights from Zhiyun Cinepeer versus 15 watt, 40 watt and 20 watt, but none of them has actually justified the money I spent on them. Unfortunately, starting from the one which died first, Cinepeer 15, it is, first of all, very short lasting light. It lasts only like 28 minutes before it dies at the full brightness, and I will just zoom in a little bit and tell you more and tell you how does it compare. So, Zhiyun Cinepeer 15 watt. If you see that, don't buy it. It has a built-in promising battery of a form factor 21700. It has a single quarter-inch hole for the screw at the back. It's completely made from plastic. It has a fan which allows it to be cooled and perform at the 15 watt performance output, and it has two control knobs. Talking about control knobs, it is not really straightforward. You have to press, hold and then rotate the knob in order to turn on. Now, what I don't like right away, that even though this has a really similar screen area comparing to the size of the screen on a NITECORE, let me turn this on so you can see that the screens are almost identical when it comes to the area of the screen, but on NITECORE it's brighter and everything what is displayed on the screen is very clear, nice, bold and just very easy to read, versus on this Zhiyun Cinepeer the numbers are, the lines are thin, not really clear, and they don't look like a high resolution. Alright, now this wheel to scroll and increase or decrease the brightness, it takes just too many turns to actually adjust the brightness from 0 to 100. So now it's 0% and I have to make 1, 2, 3, 4 full rotations to bring the brightness up from 0% to 100. It has different modes which you can click and select the language. Now it's CCT mode. Now you can adjust the color temperature all the way to 10,000 Kelvin, very cool white light, all the way down to 2500. Then you can have green and magenta control. Now it's green magenta control. I mean this is the really like professional feature. But if it's professional feature, in my opinion, it should last longer than 28 minutes at full brightness. Then you can also get hue and saturation modes, where you can scroll from what is that? Green and then to blue and etc. Violet, and it's nice. I mean, it's definitely good to have, but again, it's more like a practical light which you can position at the back and make some background, but still you cannot expect it to last more than half an hour, and that is the main complaint. It is a big light, it is expensive light, and it doesn't last long. It has some effect mode like SOS, candle, etc, which I hope last longer, welding. But the main complaint about this light, that it doesn't last long, and the way it compares to the Joby, which is a perfect teeny tiny light. You see how much bigger this Zhiyun Cinepeer is. Then it's much bigger than Ulanzi. It's thicker than Ulanzi, it's bigger than Ulanzi, and it lasts 4 times less time than Ulanzi lasts. And if you are just a beginner, this will cost you at least $35, but I believe the full price is $70 versus $15. This is very simple, just turn and it works. The only problem with these Ulanzi lights, because they are cheap. I used to have 4 of these lights, and like 3 of them I think they just broke. This switch broke. You see, it clicked, but now I increase and it was delay. So the switch is not really reliable, neither it's like linear. It can be a little bit faulty, and it can eventually just break down after a while. So I don't necessarily recommend this light, except if you have a really limited budget. I would rather pick a Joby Beamo. Joby Beamo also has something like 5500 color temperature, which is equal to the daylight, and it does come with a nice silicone diffuser, which is not falling from the light itself. It also has a 1/4 inch hole, a cold shoe mount, very simple operation, and memory function. So if you turn on, and then now it's my minimum brightness, now I will increase and I will turn off. Now I will turn on and I am on the same exact setting, because the light has a memory function. But this Zhiyun Cinepeer is not easy to control. In my opinion, the screen is not as clear and not as high resolution, and it doesn't last long. Okay, then and it comes with some sort of diffuser, which is very thick, and silicone diffuser. It's okay, but in my opinion, if you want to screw something in here, whether this will be your selfie stick, whatever, then this silicone diffuser will actually be obstructing your other device which you want to screw in. So this should have had a cutout over here so to allow your accessories to be screwed. So this is really weird to have. However, even the worst light, even the worst is the next one from Zhiyun, and that will be, let me tell you, the worst light on my opinion when it comes to the value and usability, and this will be Zhiyun Fiveray M20. It is overhyped, I mean it's seriously overhyped. It is the same form factor, except it is even worse than Zhiyun Fiveray 15. They give you some kind of pouch, but this is not a deal breaker when the light itself is crap. Even though I believe this light supports a fast charging, so if you see that, don't buy this light. Even though it supports a fast charging, same like Zhiyun Fiveray 15, it can charge up to 65. It can charge with a power of up to 65 watt. It will still work only like 28 minutes at the full brightness, so it is not really practical for a solo creator. This light, I believe it also will charge fast. It has a USB-C power, but what makes it so bad is that it is not usable without this bulky cage. Zhiyun tells you, oh look, we have a nice cage, you have a cold shoe mount over here, then you have a cold shoe mount over here and cold shoe mount over here, but they don't tell you how bulky it is. So if we compare, this is the same form factor with cage and without cage. Zhiyun Cinepeer 15 and Cinepeer 20 watt, which is also powered by the same 21700 type of battery, but inserted in this ugly and bulky cage, because without cage you don't even get from Zhiyun for almost like €100, you don't have a 1/4 inch hole at the bottom, which you do have with the 15 watt Cinepeer light, but don't have with the 20 watt. The only difference is this is a little bit heavier, I believe, because it has a copper metallic frame all around. You see, this one does not have any kind of copper frame behind the ventilation vents. USB-C, USB-C, still you see all around is like a steel plate, same size ventilation, and even more uncomfortable control. So you have to use both knobs to turn on. So you have to single press and long press, and you have to remember, single press and long press. Okay, it will basically have the same effects, with only exception that it has a music mode. So it has microphone, now I'm talking, and it will go and give you some lights when you are talking. This is the only difference from Zhiyun Fiveray 20 watt to Zhiyun Fiveray 15 watt. Okay, now I will toggle through the language mode. You can select CCT with again the same uncomfortable wheel, where you have to make like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rotations before you change the brightness from 0 to 100%. Look, and back. Now you have effects, music, language menu, color temperature. Where is, oh, this is, by the way, this is not an RGB light. This is Zhiyun Fiveray 15 is RGB light. 20, at least the one I have, is not RGB. It costs at least like 30-40% more. It comes with this ugly and bulky cage, where of course Zhiyun tells you, oh, you can be so creative, you can put this extra diffusion plate, or you can put this extra diffusing, like a honey beam cage, or even you can be so creative and put this barn door cage, but come on, look at, I'm not sure if you can use as a solo creator all this thing, but look how big it is. If I take this nice Joby Beamo, or I will have this bulky. How can I use that? Okay, if I'm planning to use this, I will have to make a setup. I will have to prepare my table or my little studio or whatever to use. Look, this is the, for example, action camera, and this is how bulky it looks like. Okay, and when I turn the light on, I will have to set up my scene. It will take time, but the light will actually die before the scene is set up, because it can only last like 30 minutes, as it was proven on my longevity video time-lapse. So this is unusable, and if you take a teeny tiny Joby Beamo, which is cheaper, waterproof, much more simple to operate, and it can last 2 times as long as this Cinepeer 20 watt. And once again, if you see Zhiyun Fiveray 40, don't buy it. Neither of the options I can recommend you. So don't get this one, don't pay too much money. And the last light, which is also very disappointing, is the brightest one, Zhiyun Fiveray M40. Unlike the other lights from Joby, from even this 15 watt Zhiyun, or this 20 watt, which came with the most amount of accessories, this Fiveray M40 was not coming with an accessory. So this additional silicone diffuser, what I purchased on my own money. It's like $8, I think. The controls are simple but not really precise. You have only the wheel to turn the light on. You have an indication of the remaining charge level in the battery, and this is the turn on off and brightness, and here you have a wheel for the color temperature setting, which is not really precise. It's like indicated on the wheel itself, and it is the second light. The first one broke after 1 year, the battery died. I sent this to Zhiyun. The way you do that, you contact Zhiyun by WhatsApp. They will tell you to ship the light and pay your own money for the shipping without refund to the warehouse in Germany. They will maybe fix, maybe replace the light. In my case, they sent me a brand new light, but shipping from warehouse in Germany to your house will be paid by Zhiyun. So I spent money on the light, which was expensive, over 100 euro. I spent money on the shipping, and it still lasts only like 32 minutes at the maximum brightness, which basically, as I already experienced myself, does not necessarily benefit you anyhow of having this 40 watt for a small creator. If you're making a vlogging video, you don't need the 40 watt shining at your face. If you want to fit it on a camera, it is just way too bulky. It is way too big. It is thicker than iPhone 12. It is way thicker and way heavier than NITECORE beautiful NITECORE SCL10. Way thicker, way heavier. And the worst part is that this is some kind of weird light where you don't have a 1/4 inch hole for your tripod, but you have it shifted to the side on this very strange arm, and if you were to connect, then you were to connect like so, or in like on the camera in such fashion, which is ridiculous, or maybe in such fashion, because there is a mounting option over here, but it doesn't make it look any better if you were to connect. Or maybe you have a smartphone holder and you are to connect this on top of your smartphone holder. This is like almost 2.5 times heavier than the iPhone. So, but okay, and I, after using this light for a while, I don't necessarily now understand the real use case scenario. Okay, if you need a 40 watt, then you must be filming some larger setup, maybe an interview, maybe something else, where you need to prepare the stage for the filming. But then this will only last you 30 minutes at the maximum brightness, when you need the maximum brightness. Where else it is over 100 euro price tag, and on my opinion you much better will have benefits from buying two pieces of NITECORE SCL 10. This is 12 watt. If you get other one is also 12 watt, it will be 24 watts, which is plenty even for like interview shooting, and it will each of these will last you 3 hours and 48 minutes for your interview, versus this one will just die after half an hour. So folks, and I really hope that I cleared out all the questions about the ultimate light for any kind of video scenarios for a solo creator. Definitely I can confidently recommend to you NITECORE SCL 10. Really a killer light, very simple, very straightforward to use, to operate. It does not require any kind of adaptability. Everything about this light is already easily available on the retail box. You can power two devices at the same time, and you can I have another cable with me now? You can power two devices at the same time, and you can, hold on, okay, I can show you. Now I have USB-C connected, and I have my, so here is the, okay, I do like so. Okay, USB-C connected, and connected to my Osmo Action camera, and camera is charging now. And here I can see that I am consuming 6.3 watt to charge my Osmo Action camera. Now I have this Joby Beamo. Okay, by the way, Joby Beamo, because it's a waterproof light, you have a nice solid red, easily visible, distinguishable cover, which pushes down a rubber plug, and this opens up the USB-C. This can only be charged at slower USB-C speeds, so I will use a USB-C inside here, and I will use a USB-A. Okay, now I will plug in into, let me zoom in for you guys. Okay, NITECORE SCL 10. I will plug in a USB-C here, and I can show you that now there is a teeny tiny red light. Yes, I believe you can see that. There is a teeny tiny red light which shows me that it is charging. Now the screen is off, but if I just press once, I will see now that I am using 7.7 watts to charge my, see, red light, to charge my Joby and Osmo Action at the same time, but I can also turn on the light. If I just press and hold, I will turn on. I have 20% brightness. I can increase brightness up to 100%. I am consuming now 7.6 watts and it will last me 3 hours and 2 minutes at the full brightness while charging, still charging the Joby Beamo and still charging the Osmo Action. And this is just outstanding performance from NITECORE. If you need a power bank, if you need a video light, if you need a power bank with 2 outputs with slower and faster USB-C charging, and if you need a high quality, durable, reliable and the longest lasting video light for a solo creator, you will not find a better light than a NITECORE SCL10. That's all from me. I will leave links on all the lights and especially on the NITECORE down in the link in the description and also in the first comment. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to my channel if you indeed received a value from this video, and I will see you in the next video, because you have to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next review. Bye.